Right.
Can I be in shot watching?
Oh, good. If I hear a flog land on my head. Brilliant.
Let me know that.
Obviously, I'm going to do this first time. You finished? Don't you spit on me. What a brilliant wheelie.
To pull a wheelie, Martin leans forward slightly. As his strong foot comes into the forward position, he throws his weight backwards onto the seat whilst pressing hard on the leading pedal. At the same time, he pulls upwards and back on the handlebars. With the front wheel off the ground, he keeps pedaling hard.
Keep pedaling after you're up. A lot of people stop pedaling and then gravity will pull you down to the ground. Keep pedaling.
Once he reaches a balance point, he uses two ways of staying there and continuing the wheelie. If he starts to fall off backwards, then he has to apply the rear brake slightly. This brings the front wheel down. If the front wheel drops too far, then he pedals harder, leaning back to maintain the balance.
Your rear brake is very important so you don't tip over. I constantly have a finger on my brake and I actually track my brake the whole time, you know. And you're constantly going back and forth like this. So you always plus minus that balance point. You never have the perfect balance.
Aside from keeping your wheel up, it is also difficult to keep from tipping to the side or veering off course. You allow the bike to pivot around underneath you. You can also use a combination of moving the handlebars and sticking your knees out to keep your balance.
Same time you have to fight that sideways balance, which throws you left and right. And this one you can correct with your legs, with your knees, with your handlebar. You can turn your bar in the air. And what a lot of people do wrong, they don't have their front wheel high enough. They have it too low to the ground and they have their weight forward and you just cannot last very long. This probably looks very familiar to a lot of you. They go faster and faster and eventually they come down.
Where's that
If you go too slow, it goes, oh, it's not coming up, it's not coming up, it's not coming up.
And if you go too fast, go on, show us what happens if you go too fast.
If you go too fast, you go...
Well, go with it.
like that.
Then that's going to happen.
And that'll happen. It happens to me every day.
The wheelie is a difficult trick to master. You don't need to know how to wheelie a long distance in order to do other tricks, but you definitely use the skill of lifting the front wheel when jumping up obstacles or learning to back hop. A flash extension of the wheelie is the coaster wheelie, or manual. The idea is to wheelie without pedaling, using your balance and momentum to keep the wheel up. You may find it easiest to practice this trick on a slight downhill. From the coaster, you can go on to tricks like the no-footed wheelie.
Yeah, you're looking pretty funky. Give us a spin. Won't go up here. Oh, he's done it! Yeah!
Be it a curb or a rock, you often have to get over obstacles with your bike.
And there's many different techniques how to get up it. You can do a fast bunny hop, you can do a side hop, or you can do what we call a pedal bunny hop. And that's the technique you can actually use the most of the times. Try to approach the step in a right angle see my pedal is forward, my bad pedal. Now I do a little wheelie, half a pedal stroke, and see? Now my chocolate foot is in the perfect forward position, so I can unweight my rear end and roll up on the step. Half a pedal stroke, unweight the rear end. Your feet push down, back and up. The back foot is really important there again. That's the foot that holds the bike up, see? I can do it like this, without brakes.
Stamp on your left pedal, or the opposing pedal, yeah? And at the same time, really lift it up, and that sort of brings you through to your, back to your right pedal as you land.
For objects larger than a curb, you have to pedal bunny hop more explosively. From head on, Hans approaches the ledge ready to lift his front wheel. He paces himself so his weak foot is forwards when he's nearly at the obstacle. At that point, he uses a powerful downstroke to lift the front wheel, which he places on top of the obstacle. Notice his strong foot is now forward. With the front wheel in place, he throws his weight upwards and forwards. His back wheel is now on a collision course with the object.
And now before your chain ring or your back wheel hits the object, you have to throw your weight forward. You jerk your weight over the handlebar. At the same time you lift with your feet.
Pushing down, back and up, Hans unweights the back wheel enough to lift it behind him and onto the object.
When I first practiced this technique like almost 20 years ago, I always imagined that as soon as my front wheel is up, I'm trying to kick my rear end up into the sky, you know, as high as I could. And basically get my rear end higher than my front wheel, so I have this wheelbarrow effect and I can roll out on my front tire.
An advanced technique you can learn to hop up high objects is to ram the front wheel into the top of the object. The wheel bounces upwards, giving you added lift.
If you do this technique at an object as high as a picnic table, you have only a split-second time to touch your front tire on the edge, maybe even get a rebound so you can bounce up onto the table. If the object gets much higher than that, you might not even have time to touch your front wheel at all and you have to bunny hop up directly.
We'll stand here, yeah? Yeah? And just make sure, like, you know, until you sort of get to the end, otherwise you're going to go too early.
Yeah.
Right?
So we'll be here,
right here,
and you'll be like,
hey, push the front in. Push the front in.
But how can that be? Then I'll just shoot down there.
no, you won't, I promise.
Are you sure? Why can't I just pull the wheel up? Surely. I want to be pulling the wheel up.
No, see, that's the common mistake everyone makes. Really? They always think, oh, front high, front high.
Yeah, like...
You wouldn't listen. Idiot.
It's not so bad.
Nearly had it. You're right.
Didn't go too well, lads, or anything.
I think you had your front too low.
Yeah. I'd say we set you up with something else.
Try again then, eh?
Try something else. Come back to that.
Once you're familiar with the parallel bunny hop, you can use it in some practical situations like jumping off a curb. If you're really good, you can even try to jump up a curb in traffic. Sometimes you have to. Those bloody buses are in your way. You gotta be committed when you do it. Lean your weight slightly over and take both wheels with you and explosively jump up.
A parallel hop-up is just like the front hop-up, only you lean in slightly at the beginning. As you reach the top, you use your hips and body weight to pull the bike sideways. The larger the obstacle, the more Martin crouches back for an explosive jump upwards. Martin uses the same technique to hop sideways up and over an object. As soon as he clears the object, he straightens his legs in order to absorb the landing on the back wheel.
I think I need $1 million. You need to pay me $1 million.
What are you going to do?
I'm coming at you, all right?
Well, you're going to ride off there, eh?
Right, now I'm going to knock you out.